Today on DoodleDrawArt, we're going to draw and color the Flame Princess from Adventuretime. I'm looking at this picture that I found online at the Adventuretime Wikia, and I'm just going to use pencils to start off with, and then crayons and markers to finish. So a nice circle for her head, and some small lines to show where her neck is. And her upper body is relatively a circle. And then her arms are just out to the sides like this, one going up and one going down. And her coat is cinched at the waist, and then it starts to flow down towards the ground. So up here, we're going to look at the shape of this arm. I'm just going to bring it in towards the elbow and then up to meet with the body. You might not like your lines at first, but we'll keep working on them until we're happy. That's why we work with pencil. That's why we sketch out basic shapes to start. Gives us a guide to work with. Just going to erase a little bit here. So I can see it in my mind now, but it was slightly different than what I had drawn. So her shoulder is going to end and then bring out her arm. I didn't like the way it connected there. So down from the elbow and out toward the hand. Back to the elbow. And back up. There we go. Now we can start to shape in the neckline of her cloak. And she's wearing a gem right here. It's diamond shaped with a small diamond inside. And then there's this flame shaped lapel just underneath, pointing down like an arrow. And then we have the other side of her chest and her arm flowing out to the side and out to the hand. So it gets thinner at the elbow and then reaches out to a hand at the end. Now her coat opens up in the front and makes its way around the sides. Just a gentle curve. And here on the outside it curves a little further and down towards the ground. She's wearing a dress underneath this cloak. So you see both layers. First the cloak on the outside, and then the dress to the floor. So there are two layers here to her cloak. So we're going to draw just another parallel line that comes down inside. And just refine those lines until you're happy with them. And we're going to move up to her upper body and work on the neck and the chest. And now the face. So I'm going to draw in the gem that she's wearing on her forehead. Again, it's a diamond shape with a diamond on the inside. And her eyes are very far apart, and her smile is tiny. Just darken up those eyes. Think about where the smile will be right underneath here, just a tiny little smile. And her part is here, and then her hair comes down, touching that gem and trailing down onto her shoulder. And along the top of her head, it comes down around to meet at the tip of the hair. And on the other side, we have another piece of hair drifting off, sort of the same way her arm is drifting off. And then we come way up high with a flaming shape. It's going to have a little bit down here, right where her chin meets in with her hairline. Let's bring this line in a bit, but then we can go out right across from where her chin is, straight across here, and just draw little bits of hair coming out to the side. And that's where this big flame is going to connect up eventually. It's flaming down until it catches with those last bits of orange hair. I'm just fixing up the flamey shapes up here. And there's a little lick of fire just coming off the edge. It's not even attached to her hair. Okay, so I'm just going to erase a few of these extra bits and pull my paper down a bit because I see that you probably can't see the tips. So just clean it up with my eraser. I don't have to clean it up. We're going to erase all this afterwards, but I'm just helping myself find the good lines when I go over this finally with my black or colored marker. I don't think I'll be using black for this one. She doesn't have a lot of black. Her eyes are black, and her mouth is black, and the rest of it is very orangey and yellowy. So I was finding that this bump didn't look natural. Her head looked like it was a little too lumpy at the top, so I'm just bringing it in a little bit closer to the shape of the top of her head. There you have it. So her hair, right here, this is going to curve to a point. And again, I'm just going to bring that in a little bit more still. Nice. So you can pause here and look over your drawing and make sure that you're happy with what you've done. But now I'm going to use a yellow marker and I'm going to trace all of the skin edges. So her arms and her face and neck and shoulders, and also her dress. And then I'm going to do all of these other lines of hair and cloak with an orange marker. I think if I used black it would be too bold. Because she's fire, she doesn't really have bold lines. And then I'll just put black for her eyes and her mouth and a little bit here inside the gems to show the angles of those gems. So now I'm ready to erase all my pencil lines, and you're going to see now why I chose not to use black, because this is really going to lighten up the look of this piece. Nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use firm pressure with my crayon and go over all of these lines that I just drew with a firm pressure crayon. And you might wonder why I didn't just use crayon in the first place. And the reason is that it's very difficult to erase after you've put down crayon. You end up smudging the wax. For her skin, I'm layering yellows and oranges. I'm using, yellow orange and just yellow until I get a really nice shade. I'm going to layer color here on her dress as well. I started off with yellow orange and now I'm moving into red orange, and now I've just got plain orange. It gives a nice dimension to the color, keeps it interesting. And I'm going to do the same thing with her hair, starting off with orange and then putting reddish orange over and putting some more orange on top. Back and forth until I'm happy. For her dress, I'm going to put red orange underneath the orange, just going to give it a little bit more of a rosy color, and again here too, just a little bit of a reddish color. I hope you've enjoyed watching me draw the Flame Princess today. I find she's so cute. I was looking forward to doing this piece. And I hope you drew one too. And I would love it if you would comment on this video. You could tell me who your favorite Adventure Time character is and why. And if you liked this video, please click like. And if you're on Instagram or Twitter or Tumblr or Facebook, you can find me there at DoodleDrawArt. Thanks for watching.